What is up, everybody? Back with the discography ranking here today, and it's going to be Inquisition. Amazing band. As of now, they're my favorite black metal band of all time. Absolutely love their sound. A nice blend of the more chaotic, thrashy type of stuff. Very powerful with the kind of more mid-paced, kind of melodic and atmospheric type of stuff. Very cool. Very consistent band. All of their albums are really good for the most part, so just because something's near the bottom doesn't mean I dislike it. Something's got to be down there. And as far as the band members go, same two guys, basically since 1996. You've got Dagon on vocals and guitar, and Incubus, who joined the band in 1996. The band was formed in the late 80s by Dagon, but Incubus came along in 1996. Dagon's guitar playing is fantastic, amazing tone, so many great riffs all throughout these albums. His vocals can take some getting used to. Kind of started off as more of that kind of frog croaking style is what people call it. I think it fits the music very well, helps add to that kind of dark, ritualistic atmosphere. But over time, they've kind of evolved into sounding a bit like Abath from Immortal. I think that you can kind of compare their voices. But Incubus on the drums is an absolute machine. These guys, great chemistry, work very well together. Yeah, great, consistent band. As I said, 8 albums total I'm going to be going here. Just my opinion. Here we go. Starting off my list at the bottom is going to have to be Black Mass for Mass Grave. Their most recent album just came out at the end of last year, and I don't dislike it by any means. Still dig it quite a bit, actually. Had it in my top 10 black metal albums of 2020. Just compared to the rest of their discography, this one is definitely their most different sounding album. It's the most mellow, the most melodic, kind of got that cosmic, spacey type of feel going on here, and don't dislike that at all. Just with Inquisition, I kind of prefer the more chaotic, thrashy stuff a lot of times, but this album is very well composed. The musicianship is pretty damn good. A lot of these songs flow very nicely, some really beautiful guitar parts from Dagon. Specifically, got to look at these song titles because they're like a sentence long, but on the 10th track, Hymn to the Absolute Majesty of Darkness and Fire, absolutely beautiful sounding song. Sounds like it's like some super crazy evil thing, but it's really good. Luciferian Rays, the single from the album with the music video, is very good as well. Some stuff mixed in that's kind of thrashy here and there, but as I said, the most mellow and melodic album they have. So it is at the bottom for me, Black Mass for Mass Grave. Next up at number 7 is Obscure Verses for the Multiverse, their 2013 album. This one is kind of universally thought of as their worst, or that's kind of what I've seen for the most part. Kind of until their most recent album came out. I see people kind of divided on that one. A lot of people think their most recent album, Black Mass for Mass Grave, is the best. A lot think it's the worst. But this one, for the most part, is kind of near the bottom for a lot of people. Just kind of inconsistent at times. There is still several really strong, powerful, amazing tracks, which I can't really read the font on this, very small, but looking at these songs, Force of the Floating Tomb, the first song is really powerful, heavy, aggressive. The riffs and blast beats throughout are fantastic. Same thing can kind of be said for the second song, Darkness Flows Towards Unseen Horizons, is a really good one as well. Then going towards the bottom of the album, the last song, Infinite Interstellar Genocide's great. Arrival of Eons After is awesome. But the title track is the weakest song on the album as far as I'm concerned. It sounds like a mid-90s Metallica song. Just the riff is really simple and kind of boring. The drum beat's super simple. It just sounds like a large drum beat. But it kind of picks up towards the end. Just the beginning there is just kind of funny to listen to because it reminds me of mid-90s Metallica. But overall, not a terrible album, but down near the bottom at number 7. Obscure Verses for the Multiverse. Next up at number 6 is Nefarious, Dismal, Orations, their 2007 album. Going forward with these next 6, I think they're all freaking killer. We give it each of them at least an 8.5 out of 10, so dig them all a lot. This album here, freaking awesome. The opening track, Ancient Monumental War Hymn, Killer way to start the album, badass song. And that's the thing with Inquisition. A lot of their lead-off tracks are amazing. This one, favorite song on the album. But looking at the rest, Infernal, Evocation of Torment, probably mispronouncing shit all over the place here, but that's a great song. Enter the Cult, fantastic instrumental towards the bottom of the album. And the title track, another killer one. But top to bottom, really good album here. Nefarious, Dismal, Orations, number 6. Next up at number 5 is Bloodshed Across the Empyrean Altar Beyond the Celestial Zenith. Their 2016 album, absolutely killer stuff here. Really can't say anything negative about any of the albums going forward. They're all freaking awesome. This one here, the production's really good. The overall sound of the album's amazing. A lot of really good songs throughout. I'd say From Chaos They Came is definitely my favorite. There's a really cool music video for it as well. I'd say that's a top 5 Inquisition song. Just almost freaking perfect in my opinion. The riffs are awesome throughout the song. The vocal melodies from Dagon are awesome. Very chaotic, heavy, thrashy song. Wings of Anu, another one that is freaking crushingly heavy. The drums on that one are amazing, I think. Looking at the rest of this, you got Mystical Blood, another standout track that is fantastic. A Black Ion Shall Cleanse. That one is amazing. The riff in it is freaking fantastic. Just overall, really, really good album here. Bloodshed Across the Empyrean Altar Beyond the Celestial Zenith, number 5. Next up at number 4 is Ominous Doctrines of the Perpetual Mystical Macrocosm, their 2010 album. Another one that's a freaking mouthful to say, but really great stuff here. I do see it at the top of a lot of lists, which is very understandable. Great consistent album. Just for me, I like the first 3 albums a bit more than this one, but great stuff here looking at these songs. Astral Path, The Supreme Majesties, the opening track is fantastic. My personal favorite, Command of the Dark Crown. Absolutely love that song. Cosmic Invocation Rites is great. Desolate Funeral Chant, title track, all really good. The production on this one, again, is great. The overall sound of the album is fantastic. The drums and guitar, per usual, sound freaking amazing. Just overall, freaking great album here. Ominous Doctrines of the Perpetual Mystical Macrocosm, number 4. Coming in at number 3 is Magnificent Glorification of Lucifer. Another awesome album here. Came out in 2004. A lot of great tracks. Looking at the songs, you got Baptized in Black Goat Blood. The opening song is freaking awesome. I love Incubus's drumming on this. The little drum fills he does where he breaks off from the main little beat and hits the snare a couple times, I think is really cool. Crush, the Jewish Prophet, the second song on the album, is just a crushingly heavy, awesome song again. Under the Black Inverted Pentagram is great. Dark Mutilation Rites, of course, is a fantastic one. Looking at the rest, another standout. Looking at this, it was Impaled by the Cryptic Horns of Baphomet. That's another awesome song. But top to bottom, really, really good album here. Magnificent Glorification of Lucifer, number 3. Next up at number 2 is Into the Infernal Regions of the Ancient Cult, their debut album from 1998. Amazing stuff here. It's definitely their most raw, darkest, most evil-sounding album. That kind of ritualistic atmosphere is very present on this album. There's a lot of really cool spoken word intros and interludes throughout the album that help add to that atmosphere, which, if I read correctly, the spoken word stuff is from a movie called Inquisition from the 70s. A horror movie, of course, but really, really cool stuff. Looking at these songs, a ton of great ones. Very consistent album here. Unholy Magic Attack, the opening song is fantastic. The drumming's great from Incubus. It's overall great song. Those of the Night is amazing. The Initiation, really I could just read all these songs. They're all freaking awesome. Empire of Luciferian Race. The title track is really cool. Thrashy, almost instrumental. There's some spoken word in it, but really cool stuff. Hail the Cult, the final song, is really cool. Just guitar. There's no drumming. It's guitar and vocals, which Sounds really freaking cool, but great album here. Into the Infernal Regions of the Ancient Cult, number 2. And taking the number 1 spot is Invoking the Majestic Throne of Satan. Amazing album here, came out in 2002. All killer, no filler. One of the absolute best black metal albums of all time as far as I'm concerned. Looking at these songs, there's 10 of them. Really, top to bottom, not a single dull moment on this album, but embraced by the unholy powers of death and destruction. The opening song is absolutely fantastic. One of their best of all time. Kill with Hate, freaking amazing riff. That guitar tone from Dagon is unmatched. One of the best guitar tones of all time. Enshrouded by the Cryptic Temples of the Cult, another fantastic one. For Lucifer, My Blood, another song that showcases Dagon's amazing guitar playing and tone. Really, even the kind of more mellow, mid-paced songs on this album are fantastic, very dark and evil sounding, but really freaking great album, top to bottom, amazing stuff. Invoking the Majestic Throne of Satan, my number 1 Inquisition album, and that does wrap up the ranking. Such a tough one to do because so many great albums. Really wouldn't be surprised by any list I see. If someone had my number 8 at number 1, I'd be like, you know what? It's a great album, so that's cool. But just let me know what y'all thought. Give me your rankings in the comments. And until next time, thank you for watching.